so that was my Cliff Notes version of these prediction markets, but just how integrated have they become? They're kind of like sports betting, but now we're talking about kind of news events, the way we talk about sports betting markets now.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, the extent to which they've become integrated into, regular news coverage outside of sports is still kind of unclear, right? They've struck these partnerships over like the end of last year and the beginning of this year, but we're still not seeing true mainstreamification. I mean, I think part of the reason that they're striking these deals is because they're trying to become more mainstream, not because they already are. So, and there's some differences in how these deals work, whether it be with the Wall Street Journal or it be with CNN. But most of it seems like some integration of use of this data in news coverage, whether that be in like a TV broadcast or some sort of dashboard on a web page. But no, it does very much mirror the beginnings of kind of the sports gambling infiltrating itself into sports media that we saw a few years ago after the Supreme Court decision kind of opened that world up. So yeah, we're still kind of watching what's going on here. It's very much a moving landscape, but I'm really interested to see what happens over the next couple years with these things.
So if I can make a market on anything, if I can make a bet on anything, Dave talked about Secretary Hegseth. What's to keep the secretary or someone from betting on that outcome, knowing that, look, they're in control of it? I mean, I'm sure people are talking about this. What's the industry say?
Mhm. I mean, it's a complicated question because a lot of the law around this, insider trading laws in the U.S. They're not as firm as a lot of people think that they are. So when it comes to the SEC and like equities, there's a lot of case law around this. We kind of know what the rules are. When it comes to prediction markets, which fall under the jurisdiction of the CFTC because they're considered derivatives markets,
Hmm.
they kind of have the CFTC has the same general powers, but they're a lot newer. They haven't really been enforced. There's a lot of weird financial economic theories to why that is, but we just don't really know a lot of the rules around this legally. Now, it is very important to note that Kalshi themselves bans insider trading on their platform. And as of now, Kalshi is the only CFTC regulated prediction market that is operating in the US. So a lot of these stories that you hear about, say someone betting a bunch of money on an airstrike in Iran right before it happens, a lot of that is happening on Polymarket or other exchanges that are operating offshore. It doesn't mean that it's not US investors, right? They could be using VPNs, and there's been a lot of criticism that Polymarket's not really trying their best to keep these people off. But as of right now, if Pete Hegseth wanted to go onto Kalshi and bet on himself to get fired, that would be against their terms and conditions. They've been mostly enforcing that after the fact and very delayed, but I know that they're putting in and they're working with a lot of the same like organizations that help monitor sports betting for the MLB and the NBA and these places to try to monitor this stuff and clamp down on it before it happens. But the actual legal landscape is very, very iffy. And I mean, it's something that as reporters, we get in our hands on, non-public information all the time. And that's what's led to some of these interesting ethical questions of like, wait, can I suddenly use this off the record call that I just had to place some money on a bet and up my salary a bit?